Morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Energize your mind. That's what I see on the back of. I brought that deck out, the one that we used recently, with the where the Shiva Lingam came up. Crystals, the stone deck. I think we are pulling one from that. Okay. But in the meantime, the main reading will be from the Shadowscapes Tarot by Stepahie, Pui-Mun, commentary by Barbara Moore. Tarot, the cat people, is also here. I don't know. Got a few. We have a few decks that want to be heard from. So apologize for the shortness, the abrupt ending to yesterday's video. But again, just kind of, it's a great example of yeah, all day long, little interesting moments like that happened where I got redirected. Is that showing up for you too? Abruptly redirected or asked to slow down and then choose to either not do things, like to take things off my agenda. How I think things should go. Yeah. 8 of Wands messages. Oh. She has a lot of dandelions, so it looks to me as though she's almost breathing. That the way the nautilus behind her is, I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying in this light. Yeah, there's a pretty fair way to look at it. The nautilus behind her almost looks like she's breathing life, doing like we do with dandelions that have gone to seed and the fuzzy tops, and then we blow them and we make wishes. So these are our prayers, perhaps. These are our wishes that were, and seeds, and these seeds of those are the seeds of the dandelion that spread, right? 8 of Wands is about like a lot of action that's happening very fast. I don't feel that so much in this card. I feel there's a gentler flow, like the actions that we take as we, almost like we're taking a breath, and then as we exhale and we express ourselves, we express our passions. 8 is a number of commitment. It's a number of like the wands is a suit of action, of how, actually do, like the way we're engaging with things in some way, shape, or form. It's the energy that we're bringing. Again, energize your mind. Typically, an 8 is like there's a lot of action happening. And then we get to the 9 where we're sometimes defending our actions. So there may be a lot of choices, but we're really putting our breath. We have to, the way what's coming up for me now is that we've got to go at a pace at which we can breathe, so that we are putting our most authentic breath, our spirit, into what we're doing, what we choose to do. And with the dandelions, that is a, again, we're putting something out there on the wind. With our own, we're adding our own breath, or adding our own wind to that. We don't want to get winded. But she's standing solid, even on this pretty precarious situation on the rock, but there's a tree growing out. Have you ever seen that where trees are inexplicably growing out of rocks? Like in the worst like setup imaginable, but they're still growing? Like even if you feel like you're on rocky ground, we're still, you know, and that would be the place where we need to breathe and take in as much as we're putting out. Those sixes that came up in that Monday reading and the Ace of Pentacles, that one came up in my meditation today. I'm also meditating on that reading, that Ace of Pentacles. We've got to, you know, that putting on your oxygen, your own oxygen mask before you give out to others, before you engage. You have to, because if you don't do that, and you're trying to save everybody in the plane and you're breathless, you're not going to save as many people as you want. And you might not save yourself. The only one in the plane that you can save at the end of the day is you. And that doesn't mean that you ignore what's going on, but if we are breathing, we're going to make better decisions about how to handle those types of situations. The youngsters that are with you, she's got two foxes there. Stay curious. Here's another card. Two of Swords. Yeah, decisions about how to communicate. This person is looking down and is really, this is definitely, it's not the Four of Swords, but it feels very much like a going within. Again, 2 is the number of intuition, emotional intelligence, tapping into taking the time to engage with our emotional intelligence. Even though this is Swords, which would be thoughts, communication, the way we think about things. So going within, and the heart is dangling here, interestingly, outside this figure on this branch. It's almost like, I wish we weren't using the transparency road. Like if these came up together, like this heart might be like, we can imagine that heart would be hanging from one of the branches of this figure. And, you know, really going within, taking the time to consider the right way to communicate, the right, like, what are the thoughts? 2, again, bringing in 2 is a place where we're willing to believe that a higher power can bring us to sanity. So maybe we're coming back, you know, heal my unbelief. An individual swan in the spirit deck, I'm not going to grab it, but suggests that this is a solo game. You've got to kind of consider this. Where is my heart actually placed? Right now it's outside my body. I need to be here. I can't just let my heart just dangle in front of just anything. It might feel like your heart's like kind of out there in a way that you're feeling uncomfortable about, and so you're really thinking about how to manage that. Queen of Swords comes up as well. I kind of felt her coming. I'm so grateful that she's here. Queen of Swords is always someone who helps us make sense of these situations in a very compassionate way, uses her communication in a way that's engaging, is inviting, is transformative. You know, she uses the communication to transform the situation. See the butterflies with her? This isn't great lighting in this weather today in DC. But you see all her butterflies are there. And in a very similar way, it's almost like these dandelions, these seeds that the Eight of Wands character is putting out there have now turned into butterflies. So she's a very magical person. Again, you can use, you know, energize your mind. She's, you know, using her communication and her thoughts in a very constructive and creative way. Feminine energy, creation, in a way that holds space. She also listens. That's holding space. Listening and not assuming. This is not an assuming queen. If she was in the reverse, she would be, but she's not. What's the stone that we have for us today? Oh, well, this one was actually upside down, so we're going to take it. Green is the color of the heart chakra. So is pink, but it's actually green. Green is it's a combination, but green is color of heart chakra. Epidote is this stone. Epidote is a prismatic, earthy green aluminum silicate mineral. It's the get what you give stone, making good vibes even better. But be warned, if you bring epidote into your world, be ready to bring it. If you're set on wallowing out, keep epidote as a state at a safe distance. Anyone putting in the work, who needs it? Anyone putting in the work on their self, where to put it, stashed away with your existential to-do list. When to use it, when you're looking to kick a bad habit, a bad friend, or a bad mood. When you want to cast a spotlight on your weaknesses so you can work on them. So it's almost kind of a little bit of not malachite, is what I'm thinking, but the Moldavite. Moldavite is kind of what I'm thinking. Upgrade your version of you. That's what that says on the back. So using our thought processes, using these stones, using the Queen of Swords energy to upgrade that version of you to maybe be more of a listener. Because most of I know my bad habit is talking over people. I'm learning to become a better listener. If I become a better listener, again, to working on yourself, that was one of the things, yeah. Anyone putting in the work on their self, putting on your own oxygen mask. That's a great stone, because that's when we start to improve the habits or put our habits in their right proportion. That's a creative way to look at it. Like, our habits aren't bad. It's only because it's only when anything is out of balance. Remember that the Justice card came up in the Monday reading, bringing balance to what we're doing, listening to yourself, listening to ourselves. We actually know more. That Tower card, we know. If we listen to self, we'll get there. Honey calcite. Yeah, break through your limits. Honey calcite, a honey-hued mineral on a mission to turn the bewildered and bumbling into super-driven worker bees. Who needs it? Anyone with a job to do, the brilliant but lazy. This is any Taurus, but we're all, come on. Where to put it? Instead of banging your forehead repeatedly on your desk, try a gentle kiss of honey calcite there instead. When to use it? When the barriers to abundance feel too big to power through. When it's time to stop waiting your turn and stop waiting until tomorrow. Picture yourself triumphant on the other side of whatever stands in your way and call on honey calcite to kick in the door. Break through your limits. The way I'm actually taking what they share on the back of this card is actually that no matter what's going on around you, you can still enjoy your life. Often we limit ourselves by what's going on. Like, maybe people don't want to be saved. We're running around, but and other people may not want to be saved. That's fine. Let them be, but without the resentment. That we want to bring them the honey and recognize the abundance of everything that's all of what we love doing it. Keep, don't let your heart be hung on a string by some other external situation that, bring your heart back into yourself. Go do what you love doing, but without the resentments. That would be a bad habit. Doing it in a way that feels good and wonderful to you and brings joy to you, and that joy comes back to whatever situation, is kind of doing a duvet dive and maybe needs a little epidote. We need the epidote to get up and going and doing our lives. Epidote, antidote. Gratitude is the antidote to everything. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for the people who are in parts of the situations that, are just stuck in and doing what they're doing. Love on them. Look at them with compassion. Speak to them with love, genuine love, and live your life. Have a great day. This message will be on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. If you want your own private reading, this is a reading for the collective. I can talk with you on any of those platforms in a direct message to set up something with you. I love you. Have a wonderful day.